Hey guys, so today we matched Sass. My buddy Janik is over there, so fun to match friends as always. So yeah, for my war, I have Doom, Odin, and Magneto. I'm on path 1, and then I'm on path 8, so fairly standard paths for me. First up, I have the Surfer with Doom. It's a Surfer. I don't really know what to say for this matchup. Um, you're gonna get a lot of MD power because it's a Surfer, and there's also some regen buffs on this node. But with Doom's playstyle against Surfer, you don't actually get many of the regen buffs to stack. They don't really matter if they do stack because it's Doom. He just takes advantage of them. But yeah, so you can't really get too much Mystic Dispersion power from that. Um, we popped the combat regen for these first two just to work on saving potions. I'm trying to see how actually reasonable it would be to be able to play war post comp with combat regions because they are less expensive than potions, I believe. So, yeah. So first fight done. Hits a Starfer with Doom, so practically zero risk there. Then next up we've got this Angela, and this new Masochism node makes it so it's going to take a little bit longer for your Mystic Dispersion power to start kicking in than it would previously. So I think that's why that's placed, and to give another buff to Angela. So the main thing you have to pay attention is when she throws her special one, she'll gain that armor up again. Um, it's really predictable against Angela, so I don't think you actually need a UA counter to fight Angela. You just need to keep that in mind after the L1. And yeah, we're about to get to our L3 at this point, and the fight is over. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be pretty funny after this L3. Just showing how ridiculous Mystic powerbacks are, and this is only a 150% powerback. Keep that in mind. But look at this. Buffs start expiring, so I throw my L1, and that gets me to my L2. And then this armor up is about to expire, and the power back, so I get another L2, and then the fight's just over. Doom's Doom. Very, very easy fight. And then Man Thing. Yeah, it's a Man Thing on 20. I've taken this so many times now. I think I take this like literally every war with Doom. Fantastic option for it. It's a really, really easy fight with Doom. You know? So the basic strat, as always, you want to trigger Masochism. You want to get the Unstoppable. That's your first priorities in this fight. Then you want to do a 5-hit combo. You don't want to do any extra hits because that might push him to his L1. And you also don't want to dex before you do your combo. You want to make sure you get your combo in before you trigger dex so he can't ever throw his L1 before the L3. And that just makes the strategy a little bit less reliant on RNG. There's always some RNG on this fight, but there's ways to limit it. And, I mean, even with bad RNG, it's not like it matters. It's Doom. So, yeah, we go to our L3. We're going to be at 6 charges for Hit Me, I Dare You. So we're going to do medium, light, light, and then throw an L1. So Hit Me, I Dare You has the lesser chance of retaliating if he gets the Unstoppable like he did there. Which is, again, just another way to limit the RNG. That's most of the process with this matchup. And he's throwing the L1 there, trying to work around that, but not the biggest deal. I mean, the chances of the pustule converting to a poison are fairly low in the first place. And then if it does convert to a poison, it's just a potion, so not a big deal. And yeah, we're about to throw my second L3, and I'm lower on Hit Me, I Dare You charges this time, so we've got a bit more room to work with. Throw this L1 a little bit early, just to make sure I'll be low on this Hit Me, I Dare You charges again. And then he throws 2 L1s in a row here, which is really bad RNG. You almost never see something like that. But we get our first L2 off, and we get a lot of Mystic Dispersion a lot of Mystic Dispersion power coming up. And yeah, we want to throw this for the Hit Me, I Dare You. And yeah, we want to just keep throwing specials until Man Thing dies. Because, yeah. And he's dead there. My L1 will kill. And yeah, nice Man Thing fight. Didn't get the best RNG or the smoothest fight, but Doom is fantastic. And next up, I've got this 26 Sassy. I firmly believe Doom is the best counter to this fight. I'm popping Odin pre-fights. They just give some extra damage and the protection for Doom. And of course, I have a Warlock on path 8, which does need the Odin pre-fights for Doom. Well, it doesn't need the Odin pre-fights. I'm sure Doom without Odin pre-fights would still be fine there, because it is just the Warlock, but you definitely want them. And yeah, the Sassy should go down really quickly. With the R4, I do think the R4 actually makes a big difference in this fight. This is one of the few fights where I think, the R4 is actually going to, maybe be the difference between life and death. Practice those light intercepts after the L1 a lot, because he almost always goes in after that L1. That's part of Sassy's AI, throwing... That's part of Sassy's AI. He just retaliates after that L1 a lot, so you can take advantage of it if you know the trick. We try to go for it there, but he just doesn't do anything, because AI is always changing at this point. We get hit there, we eat a rupture. A little bit annoying. But yeah, here we throw our L3, our first L3. He has the armor up buff on, so we should be good to go for the L3 cycle. I'm not going to get as much power back since he will have that protection up from Wrath of Tanarak. But yeah, we get close to our L2. If I was using a 200%er, we would have been at our L2 there. And then we get unlucky with Wrath prompts here, and he does not trigger Wrath until after my L2, which is really annoying. But yeah, he's down to 19% now. So we have a really easy time finishing off this last bit. Now that we have an R4 Doom, we can just end it off with an L2, which is quite nice. And yeah, there we go. We got our unblockable L2. Fight is over. Really great counter to the fight. And then for this path 8 Warlock, it's a Warlock. I can use literally any of the slots on my team for this fight, and it would be an easy fight. Personally, I prefer Doom for this, just because I have a 200, just because I have a Mystic Dispersion 5, so we're going to be able to get even more power from the UA and all Warlock's buffs here. So it's just going to be throwing a lot of specials. Block this, and then we're going to go into our L3 shortly. And then after this L3, we're going to just work our way to an L2, and it should end the fight pretty much. So, really easy fight with Doom. Pretty much anything on path 8 with Doom using Odin pre-fights, you're going to have an easy time. I forgot, I tried to throw a heavy there, but I forgot I didn't have a shotgun, because I timed it poorly, but thankfully we had our unblockable special, so I was like, okay, not gonna get hit anyway. And then we have a Red Skull. Mags will actually turn off Rich Get Richer most of the time. So when you're using Magneto here, even at the start before you gain your buffs, you're perfectly fine and safe. And when you start when you start gaining buffs, the power will actually be in your favor for quite a bit of the fight. But yeah, you can see he's not gaining the normal Rich Get Richer power because of Mags' AAR, which is really nice. And yeah, we're just charging up these prowess. He's still going to have the Opportunist, where he's going to get a bunch of attack for all those armor ups, which is why this is placed here. It's just to try and catch you using a non-direct counter, because, with all that extra attack from the armor ups and everything, he will hit pretty hard. But yeah, not a concern for Magneto, because he doesn't have to worry about any of this. And fight is over at this point. So yeah, really, really easy fight with Magneto, it's Magneto versus the metal. You're never gonna have a tricky time doing that. And yeah, fight's over. And now next up we have a Heimdall, and it's on node 48. Now, node 48, Heimdall, just a basic Magneto fight, pretty much, as long as you have Pacify, and I have Petrify here as well. Just want to build to that L3 and end out the fight pretty much. Try and keep your hits mostly in the stun, especially when he's about to cross that 100 bar. But it's gonna be really hard to die to this fight. It just an excellent counter. And yeah. Power Reserve is a little bit annoying with the passive AI you get here sometimes, so I popped the Power Star 1 to help alleviate some of those concerns. I was trying to end the fight before baiting a special, but on this Heimdall ended up giving a really passive AI. I should not have thrown that heavy there. I should have waited for a stun. But not the end of the world. Now we want to bait the Sol 2 out. There's a chance it would go unblockable, but it wouldn't kill if it did, so it's safe enough. And yeah. And due to 3 out of 3 Petrify, this actually won't push him to another L2, which is nice. And yeah, we just wait out the fight at this point. Fight's over, and my war is over. A decent war with Doom and Magneto. And yeah.